Habibi, 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 Habibi. Welcome to Lebanon. Alright, so as you can tell, I just woke up. This is my second take on this video. The first one, I had a mic on and it cut off at some point. So we're doing this again. Content creators, well done. You guys are doing the Lord's work. It's not easy. So anyways, guys, if you didn't already know, my name is Faith and I am in Lebanon. I am Nigerian and I flew in from Nigeria to Lebanon, and I'm gonna basically walk you through the process of what is required and what it took of us to get here, because there was a lot of turbulence in trying to get here. All right, so let's even talk about how did we decide to come to Lebanon. How did we land on Lebanon? So we actually bought our tickets late last year in November. We got it at a steal price, like it was amazing. It was like 270K, 270 plus K, and yeah, it was an amazing price. But prior to that, I actually wanted to go to South Africa for my birthday, but they didn't give me a visa, so I had to look for somewhere else that I could go without like a visa stress, like I can travel to with ease. And it was two of us wanted to go to South Africa. I have a friend Falake. We were talking about where we wanted to travel to, and I mentioned I was looking at South Africa. She was also looking at South Africa. Let's go to South Africa. But then the visa process, I don't know, South Africa, do you have beef with us? South African government, guys, I'm looking at you. You're stressing us. What? Why? So anyways, apparently South Africa has beef with us that is never ending. And they are being very, they're hoarding their visa. I don't know. It's a tourism country, so, like, are you gonna let people come and visit your country and, put their money in your country or not? Let us know. So anyways, guys, South Africa was becoming clear that it wasn't gonna happen, and I'd already even done it, and I didn't get a visa, so scrap that. Let's look at another place that would be, easier for us to go to, so we can spend our money. So I saw videos on Instagram, and there was a lady that travel letters. She wrote about her experience in Lebanon, and I was like, wait a damn minute, like this sounds like fun. It also sounds cheap. Why don't we look at Lebanon? So I told her, okay, I saw videos about Lebanon. What do you think? I'm thinking maybe I would rather even go to Lebanon because it's less stressful. And so that's how it started. We're looking at tickets, we're looking at the requirements, and we settled on going to Lebanon. And so it was just 2 people, and then it became 4, and then 6, and then 8, and then eventually 11. So a WhatsApp group was created. People were discussing itineraries, color coding, do paragliding, do snorkeling, do this and that. But we initially just wanted to go there like a couple of days before Valentine's Day. Like, is it a couple of days or a week or something before Valentine's Day? And then it became clear, because none of us checked the weather, and it became clear that, oh my gosh, it's actually really cold. I mean, like, it's a winter period for them, proper snowing. They have like winter activities, snow gliding. Is it snow gliding? Or I don't know what you guys call it, but it's a lot of winter activities. And I mean, we're coming from a very tropical weather. It's hot throughout the year. We have raining season, Hamilton, but it's basically it's hot all year round. Okay, we're talking about 30 degrees, okay, like 28 to 30s, and then depending on where you stay, the region, it could go up to 45, like in the north. right? So we're just like, nah, we want to do a lot of activities, but and the winter activities is just not it for us. So we then pushed our tickets to April. Yeah, like ending of April, because apparently, the weather starts warming up there. But we thought it would be like, bum shirts, shorts, type of weather. But it's still a bit cold, especially in the mornings and in the evenings. So a lot of the clothes we packed don't really work if you don't have a hoodie or like a jacket or a sweater on. But we move, we're here already, and we will catch fun. Okay, we will have the fun that we intended to have. So then, we had 11 people in the group, like I said, and some people dropped out, and then we ended up with guys, I'm not really good at math, but we ended up now with 8 people that came to Lebanon. So you can minus and subtract how many people dropped out and got on a plane to Lebanon. So we had one person flew in from London, and 7 of us flew in from Lagos, right? And in total we are 7 women and 1 man. But from Lagos we're 6 women and 1 man. So we decided to get to the airport early, which was a brilliant idea, like 3 hours early, because had we not gotten there that early, I don't know if we'll be here today, because the devil tried us. And by the devil, I mean immigration tried us. So when we were at the airport, we got our boarding pass, we checked in our luggage, we then filled in the yellow immigration form. If you're Nigerian, you know what that is. And then we went to immigration, right? And then that's when the profiling started, because, your girl had a nose ring on. And apparently, Nigerian people, elderly people, like to profile people. Like if you don't look a certain way, if you don't act a certain way, you're a bad child. So apparently when they saw me, they saw trouble. They saw ashewo, they saw prostitution, they saw runs, because they profiled us and started saying that, okay, let me start with the first person. So the only guy that traveled with us was first in line. So he got a stamp. Then it was my turn. He had a different immigration guy. I had a different immigration guy. The immigration guy saw my passport, started asking me questions, and when they pull up your data page, they scan it. It shows your travel history. And last year, kind of like the same time, I was in Dubai. So, and now I'm going to Lebanon, which is like another Middle Eastern country. And it's not my fault. It's easier for us to travel to Middle Eastern country, right? So now the first one was Dubai, and then now this one is Lebanon. So the guy started looking at me, and I guess he profiled me and thought I was up to no good. So he said, he asked me for my visa to travel to Lebanon. And meanwhile, everyone knows to go to Lebanon, it's visa on arrival, right? So you don't need to go with a visa. And then I told him it's visa on arrival, and this guy insisted it's not visa on arrival. And I'm like, okay. And I kept explaining to him, even showed him like the Lebanese government website that shows that there's like a list of countries that are granted visa on arrival. He wouldn't budge. He was like, no, you need a visa, or you need to have at least attempted to apply for a visa, or you need to have gotten a letter of invitation. And I'm like, how would you guys be discrediting what the government of the country is saying? There's a lot of back and forth. Everyone was riled up. And then I even mentioned that, okay, so why did my friend went through, so maybe you're not aware of, the modalities and the requirements. My friend went, so obviously we're allowed to travel. That's how they called him back and took his pass. But then I felt bad. But then they wasted our time for like 2 hours after pleading, calling other, you know, travel specialists to explain to them what the process is actually like. Eventually they let us go after wasting our time that we would have spent at a premium lounge, chilling, sipping mimosas or whatever, coffee, eating, enjoying ourselves, having great conversations. These guys made us stand, explaining ourselves, creating like, you know, like a small ruckus of us trying to explain to them saying, no, you can't travel, you know, this and that, creating a scene. And then we eventually, you know, got our passports back with our boarding pass and a stamp from immigration to go to Lebanon. So we had to, you know, I even lost my boarding pass in the whole, you know, back and forth. Then we had to take off our shoes, scan our laptops, scan our bags and everything, and go to the place where we wait to board the plane. Then we got on the plane, and it was an 8-hour flight. After going through what we did, almost thinking we weren't going to travel, and then getting on the plane, we're exhausted. Then I found out that I chose the worst seat possible because it was like the end of that zone. And you know, people that travel or have traveled a bit, or frequent travelers, I don't know why I keep saying travel. If you are at the end of like a zone or like that segment in the plane, there's not a lot of wiggle room to lean back, and there's not a lot of leg room as well in front. So it felt like I was like sitting down like this, like so. I couldn't move back, and I had to sleep because it was like my sister. Can I just say, my sister? The night before, we slept really late, and this girl woke up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and she was making so much noise. So I didn't sleep properly. She woke me up, so I already didn't get a good 8 hours sleep the night before, and now with all the stress, and going past immigration, getting on the plane, now I have a chair where I'm like so. I can't lean back, just like so. Now I have to like try and sleep, you know, try and find like a comfortable way to sleep, which, you know, didn't work out. So eventually we landed in Qatar. No, yeah, we landed in Qatar, Doha, because we flew using Qatar Airlines, and we had like a 2-hour stop, 2-hour 20-minute stop. But the plane landed late, so it ended up actually being like an hour. So we didn't really get time to, you know, look around the airport. But the little that we saw was very beautiful. We took some pictures. I wanted to do some content creation because, you know, I need my Instagram. I'm trying to grow my Instagram followers, but I didn't get to do that. Then we had to quickly get to our next plane to board our plane. I don't even know what I'm making sense. It's early in the morning. I'm really just trying to, you know, shoot this part so I don't forget, because it happens and then you just never record your experience. So yeah, we went to a plane, to board our plane, and it was, I think the next plane was about like 4 to 5 hours to Lebanon. And the plane was, oh, did I tell you that the food on Qatar Air is like really nice? And that plane was actually really big. The plane was very comfortable. It was big. It was beautiful. Entertainment system amazing. On the smaller plane, the next plane that would take us to Lebanon though was much smaller, older plane, but it was okay. And on the first plane, the food that we ate, amazing. But the downside was it made people gassy. So a lot of people were going to the bathroom, and yeah, it made people feel uncomfortable, you know. Now, the second plane, the food was a bit salty, and because people were really gassy from the first one, our group, we didn't finish our meals, and it took forever. we're already tired, 8 hours in, or eight. See, like I said, I'm not good at adding things off the top of my head. But now the entire journey was like 15 odd hours. I think it was like almost 16 hours flight. So we're exhausted already. We eventually get to Beirut, Lebanon, and yeah, so we got into the airport. We had to get like a stamp, a visa stamp. I don't know what they call it. Yeah, but it's basically you're basically buying your visa, which was $7. Very cheap. I don't think you're gonna find that anywhere else. And the process was so easy. The lines weren't that long. So we, got through the immigration line. We paid for the $7 visa stamp. Then we got to the immigration officers, which I think they were soldiers. Or was I wrong? I might be wrong. But anyways, they asked us questions. We answered. And they gave us a stamp on our passport. They were very friendly. So far, Middle Eastern countries look like they're really nice and friendly people, but Lebanese people so far are very, very friendly. So far, if anything changes, I will let you guys know. So then I get my stamp on my passport, and we move to collect our luggages, our baggage. We take everything out, and we come out, and we enter Beirut. And we immediately came out. We were like swarmed by taxi drivers, and it just let me know that there's really not much that difference between Lebanese people and Nigerians. We're very, very similar. Well, not very, very similar, but we're similar in certain ways. I'm sure there are, differences, but the taxi drivers behave just like a Nigerian taxi driver would. They swarmed us, started screaming, "Oh, this is my customer, this is my, I got here first." I was talking to them first. And they eventually calmed down. We negotiated the price to take us to our mountain Airbnb. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Very beautiful. Lebanon is so beautiful. The air is pure. It's just, like, I'm loving it here. So anyways, we tell them, we negotiate, and we say $50 per car, because we needed 3 cars because we were 7, and like people had like 2 to 3 luggages per person, so we needed like 3 cars to take us to where we are. It took us a while to find this place because the drivers had apparently never been to the side of the mountain before, so it was a lot of turning around, asking, calling our Airbnb host to kind of locate this place. And so we ended up paying $150 to bring 7 people from the airport to this location, which is like out of the city. It's very calm, very quiet area, and very beautiful, like I said. And yeah, so we got to this location, and that is basically the experience from Lagos airport to Lebanon, Beirut airport. And yeah, that's basically the experience. I will shoot another video explaining, our day-to-day activities, how much we spend, places that we went to, in case you also want to come to Lebanon. I highly suggest, I think it is. I highly suggest and I highly encourage you. We've been having a good time. There's more I'd like to say, but my jaw is tired. I've been talking for 19 minutes now. And I did say I did a previous one and I had a mic on and that thing went off on me. So I was talking for a good 18 minutes and only like the first 2 minutes I had audio. So now that's about like 30 odd minutes of talking. So you understand. Thank you guys for listening to my video. Habibi, I gotta go. And you should definitely come to Lebanon. Bye now. See you next time. Bye, Habibti and Habibis.